Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Afrikanerportal. My name is Lorraine. I would love it if you would engage with my videos content. Please leave a comment. Tell me if you agree or even if you disagree with this. I'm going to read a WhatsApp message I received, and as you could see from the title, are we headed to communism? Are we already in a socialist state? Although we go under the banner of being a democracy, we are ticking many of these boxes. Now, this was written to Americans or addressed to Americans. So, but I am asking you to apply this to South Africa as I'm reading it. This was said by Nikita Khrushchev in 1959. That would make it, 81 years ago. So, although the article says reminder of what Khrushchev said 60 years ago. So let's go ahead. Your children's children will live under communism. You Americans are so gullible. No, you won't accept communism outright, but we will keep feeding you small doses of socialism until you will finally wake up and find that you already have communism. We will not have to fight you. We will so weaken your economy until you will fall like overripe fruit into our hands. The democracy will cease to exist when you take away from those who are willing to work and give to those who would not. It was September 29, 1959, when Nikita Khrushchev delivered his prediction for America at the United Nations. Remember the television coverage of him banging his shoe on the podium. At that time, just the word communism was feared throughout our nation. Remember this: socialism leads to communism. Now, how do you create a socialist state? There are a few things that you need to control. This list have 8 of them. Number 1, healthcare. Control healthcare and you control the people. Number 2, poverty. Increase the poverty level as high as possible. Poor people are easier to control and will not fight back if you are providing everything for them. Number 3, debt. Increase the debt to an unsustainable level. That way you are able to increase taxes, and this will produce more poverty. Gun control. Remove the ability to defend themselves from the government. That way you are able to create a police state. Welfare. Take control of every aspect of their lives because that will make them fully dependent on the government. Things such as food, housing, and income. Education. Take control of what people read, listen to, and take control of what children learn in school. Number 7. Remove the belief in God from the government and schools, because the people need to believe only the government, knowing what is best for the people. Number 8. Class warfare. Divide the people into the wealthy and the poor. Eliminate the middle class. This will cause more discontent, and it will be easier to tax the rich with the support of the poor. We are there. Why can people not see what is going on in this country? Are people really that blind? South Africa ticks most of the boxes at this point. We are here. We pretty much have socialism. And it fits 100% of the description of our current government. Now I'm going to go back up there and just make 1 or 2 comments about these headings. So on healthcare, control healthcare and you control the people. So who controls the healthcare in South Africa? You decide. I believe in recent media reports that private hospitals, or they're insisting that private hospitals now be open to the whole public as well. Meaning that there's just zero control by any private people then. Poverty. Increase the poverty level as high as possible. Poor people are easier to control and will not fight back if you are providing everything for them. You decide what is the poverty level in South Africa. How many businesses will close their doors permanently during this lockdown for COVID-19? How many jobs are lost? Forever. How long will it take for South Africa's economy to recover from this blow? Will it ever recover? What is our economic situation going to be at the end of COVID-19? And then they're predicting that we're going to be dealing with COVID-19 for a few years to come. We can't even begin to recover if we are in fact still dealing with the pandemic. How many more businesses will close? How many more jobs will be lost? How many more people will be thrown into poverty? The next one is debt. Increase the debt to an unsustainable level. That way you are able to increase taxes and this will produce more poverty. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. The amount of money that we as a country owe internationally is, I don't think that we can pay the debt we owe back now, even in the next 20 or 30 years. And they still keep borrowing more. They just borrow more and more and more. There's just no limit to how much money they keep borrowing, and it's got nothing to do with our ability to pay it back. Gun control. Remove the ability to defend themselves from the government. That way you are able to create a police state. Look at the things that's happened during the lockdown and where the police have abused their power in the worst way possible. And there's been many calls for gun control where people were asked to hand in their guns, legal and illegal. Amnesties offered to the illegal gun owners. But there's definitely a campaign to control our ability to defend ourselves. Welfare. Take control of every aspect, food, housing, income of their lives, because that will make them fully dependent on the government. That's happening just by all the normal government systems. Then if we look at education, take control of what people read, listen to, and take control of what children learn in school. Now, we know the syllabus is written by the government or the education department. I believe now during this COVID-19, they've decided that the Boer War is just being written out of the syllabus because there's not enough space or time in the syllabus. They have to shorten everything. So there's not enough time to learn about the Boer War, which means they're just sort of rewriting history as they would prefer people to remember it, the way it suits them. Now, if they remove the Boer War, can you honestly tell me that you think that they will add it back once this pandemic is over? And then on that point, I want to make a few videos on our South African history so that our people do not forget where they come from. Okay, let's have a look at religion. Remove the belief in God from the governments and schools because the people need to believe only in only the government knowing what is best for the people. Now, we already know that they've removed God from schools, that they don't teach religious education anymore in schools. We are so bombarded with being politically correct and not stepping on this religion's toes or that religion's toes or even on non-religious toes, that there's just a total disregard for who God is, and that the fact that this country was really founded on God and religion and the Bible, and even our Muslim brothers and sisters have a firm belief in God, and they are They base their value system on their religious beliefs. And that value system underwrites everything that a religious person does. Number 8, class warfare. Now, divide the people into the wealthy and the poor. So who's the wealthy in South Africa? Who's the poor in South Africa? Have we been divided? Is there a distinct classification that there's a generalization of who's wealthy and who's poor? Even if it's not the truth, is there a sort of a belief in South Africa of who is rich and who's not? Eliminate the middle class. This will cause more discontent, and it will be easier to tax the rich with the support of the poor. You be the judge. Are we heading towards communism? Are we already there? Are we in a socialist state? We might call it a democracy, but it's definitely not being handled like a democracy. Now, comment if you agree, and please comment even if you disagree. Press the like button, and press the subscribe button, and please share this on your social media. I would love to engage with you, my audience. Thank you.